back, finishing up Friday on my account. As you can see, I'm up at a 1.01% to 50,217.17. And it looks like SOS reached my strike price of 650, so my option will be called away. Pulled in 71 cents of premium at 638 average price, so I'll pull in 12 cents. I had 1,000 shares, so I had 10 covered calls, so that's $120 plus 710 on premium, so that's $830 for a stock that moved 14 cents in the week. That's a pretty good return. So that's the power of covered calls. So I plan on going through all the covered calls available for next week. I'll show you my strategy for picking out covered calls. Other than that, everything looks good. I've actually broken my stock list down into my bar chart site. So you see Denison Mine Corp, Venator Materials, Surgan Networks, Neris Maritime are the top performers. Ford Motor Company's been killing it. Cleveland Cliffs, a metal company that's really rebounding. Those are my leap covered calls, my stock covered calls. QTT, I'm going to have to ride another covered call over that on the 19th. Most of these, my SLS covered call got called away. I really want to average down my CCIV and try to turn that over. And one that really took off this week was Fimvolution Group. I was down big time on that, over $1,000. I had 400 shares that I bought at around, I think, $7, and it was down around $4.50, $5 for a while after the market crashed, and it just shot up. So it's going to be called away. I think in April is when I have it, but I might just sell it and take 50 or 60% of the covered call premium, because the time decay and minus how much this underlying stock has gained. But my strategy for next week as far as buying covered calls, here's my filter. I'm on barchart.com, and I've got this filter. I call it high covered calls, but I put break even 10 to infinite. That way, you're going to let at least 10% premium, or you're 10% away from the break even point, which means there's probably more premium. Implied strike volatility, any volatility under 8 days, under a week to expiration, both monthly and weekly expirations. With this next week, all the monthly expirations are happening. Any stock, ETF, or index, any volume. I'm not too worried about liquidity right now with the amount of I'm buying. Moneyness is just how far out of the range of the where it's at right now. So 8%, negative 8% to 8% just means that your strike price is near the money. So it's pretty much close. I can even go 8.5 to 8.5 just to give more results. But if you do the filter, you'll bring up all the charts. Wow, 183 this week. But you want the highest pain, so you go potential return, filter it out, and then I like to actually go through the flip charts on the underlying assets. I have a template already. As you see, SEEL, I think it was given like 28% premium. That's the only thing. Like, I can't show both my screens, but I'll pull this to my other monitor and have the premiums up as I go through the flip charts. But you can see that this ran away. Might get some support at the peak here So it might pull down to 430 halfway, but you just never know. It might just fall back down. That's a pretty risky one. Of course, GameStop. That's very risky. SLDB. This might be one to play. You know, it's showing support at this 20 moving average line. It's 50 moving average at 772. So even if falls, you're not going to be a bag holder and anything below 7. So it's got pretty solid support at 7. And from this last run, you know, even support around 845. So, you know, if it's paying a good enough premium to where you have to hold this an extra week, I wouldn't worry about being a bag holder. So that's one I'm going to look at, SLDB. Here's another one that's got plenty of support. It's a pharmaceutical company. So you got to know what catalyst is coming up, why the premiums are so high. SOS is the one I've been playing. I might just buy it again because you see has support around 450, 470, all the way up to like around $6. And it's highly tied to Bitcoin, so that's the only other thing. Bitcoin's been running, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were to drop next week. AMC, of course. Sundial Growers. Showing a little bit of support around 115. Might take a look at it. I'm really skeptical because, you know, it used to be a 50-cent stock for such a long time. Actually, is one of the first cover calls I used to do was at the 50-cent range with Sundial Growers because the premiums were, you know, 10 to 20%. XNet got a little run up. See if we can find something better. HEPA, that chart doesn't look too good. Another therapeutic company, Express, that's one of those meme stocks. eBank International Holdings, I don't even know what that is. OCGN, this might be a good one to play. It's got solid support at $8. Looks like it's trading around $10 now. Yeah, so that might be Ocugen. Might have to look up that company. Canon or Can, whatever. Looks like it's running up. I don't know what would cause that catalyst. Mara is a Bitcoin mining company. That might not be too bad. Ride. Lordstown Motors Corp. Looks like it had a huge sell-off here. NCTY, the 9. This is on the top performing stocks. I've seen this stock before. I'm not too sure what they do. I think they're Chinese stock. Riot, of course, that's a Bitcoin play. So SOS, Riot, Mara, which everyone's are paying the premiums. You might as well jump in that one. SOS has been paying the highest premium, but Riot's been slightly more steady than it. NXTD looks fairly steady, 161, so it's a low cost. Fuzi, another decent looking. MVIS, Microvision, I know that's a popular stock, might be on the list. Gevo, okay, so I'm just gonna click off this and see which ones are actually paying. Gevo is down to 9.9%. I try to get at least 7%. So, you know, there's tons to choose from. Like I said, that one SLDB looked good at 25%. That's crazy level of premium. The whole for 1 week they'll pay you 25%. GME, forget that. You don't want to hold that. SEEL, not too sure. That had a huge run up. SOS always has, you know, huge potential. Of course, these will be updated Monday, but I'll just give you kind of a general idea where to look. I also like to look in the ETFs by asset class and see what's been performing. go to performance over the last month. Of course, oil, retail bull, banks, microsector. So we might look in the banking. Let's see what ran today. Changed today. What was the biggest performer today? Aerospace defense bull. So that might be like a Boeing or even like a Lockheed Martin or something like that. Okay. So you can see that. I'll figure out which covered call on Monday. But yeah, it's definitely a few to look at. And then the other thing I wanted to pick up was Lemonade. I wanted to get a Lemonade option. I'm on the Stock Advisor monthly full, and this was the first pick of the year. I have only gotten skills out of all his picks. Lemonade scores a big spot on the Best Buy Now list for the second month in a row, the third time in 4 months. Since our February Best Buy new designation, the stock is down about 40%. The drop is not associated with any fundamental deterioration in the business that we can see, so today could represent a compelling buying opportunity if you have yet to pick up any shares. It's not the recent stock performance and current valuation that has excited us about this upstart insurer, though. We are more interested in what future holds for the business. Lemonade does not offer auto insurance, no umbrella insurance either. It currently doesn't even offer policies for landlords looking to rent out their properties. We look at these holes in the product when we see significant potential ahead. I know one of their people said something about auto insurance, so yeah, I mean, it might be a good time to pick up Lemonade, especially if they get into auto insurance business. I know they're in some type of real estate insurance business, so you can see its performance versus S&P. So the premiums are so expensive, though. I like to buy 2 years out, typically. So we're looking at probably about $4,000. Okay, 44.20. And what I like to do is divide it by 100, so 44 cents. And on a month that you don't expect much of a move, you look at the chart, you look at the news. If it's just a typical month, you see how much. If you would sell a premium, you'd sell 129 from 105 to 129. What delta is that? So you got delta 7. So that's kind of like the chances of it getting called maybe are like 7%. So you can bring in that delta almost every week and pay a lot of your option off. It gets a little tricky when it gets the call, but the best thing is if it gets anywhere close, just buy it back. And over the long term, you'll probably let it expire and get the premium more often than you buy it back, and more often you're gonna lower your cost basis. But you got to be aware of, weeks where it could potentially explode. Look at the candlesticks, look at the volume, and look at the coverage. But that's all I have for this Friday going into next week. I definitely think my account will explode as I buy more long-term options with the covered call income I'm producing. It seems like a winning strategy, but I've only been at it for about 8 months now. But I think the mathematics behind it allow me to probably double my account every year at least, if not triple it. But we'll see. Right now I'm at 134%. That doesn't make sense. Really, I'm out about 23,000. At 54,000, it'll be double, and I was way past that. I was up here at 62,000. I really don't know how this Robinhood does this, but yeah, I was more than double my count back in February before everything crashed. I'm learning how to handle crashes and options. It's a little different than stock, but yeah. Looking forward to Monday. Buy that Lemonade option, buy those SOS calls, and go through the call list again Monday, maybe Monday afternoon. I'll see how the market handles the pre-market and go from there.